Introducing the Bite Me Cannabis Club. The Bite Me Cannabis Club aims to be an inclusive online space for cannabis lovers. Whether you're simply curious about how cannabis can improve your life or you're fully seasoned, there's always more to learn. When you join the Bite Me Cannabis Club, you'll have access to like-minded people interested in cannabis, monthly workshops, live Q&As, recipes and recipe swaps, digital cookbooks, fully functional chat feature, and a whole lot more. For a limited time, it's only $5 a month with a 30-day free trial so you can try it out and see if it's right for you. This isn't just another Facebook group or confusing Discord channel. I carefully chose a platform that offers a clear, uncluttered, and seamless community experience. See for yourself, join today, say hello. I can't wait to connect with you there. Join the Bite Me Cannabis Club today. Link in your podcast app. Welcome back, friends. In this episode, we are doing raw chocolate pumpkin pecan macaroons. Say that 10 times fast. Welcome to Bite Me, the show about edibles, where I help you take control of your high life. I'm your host and certified Ganger Marge, and I love helping cooks make safe and effective edibles at home. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for joining me today. Hi, friends. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening. I know I feel like I say that at the beginning of every single episode that I do, but I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. I don't know if I can stress that enough and if it really comes across as sincere gratitude, but if it wasn't for you listening, I wouldn't have a podcast. And things in my life right now, if you've been listening to the last couple of episodes, have been a little challenging. And there are challenges in life all the time. I'm sure there's many of you out there who are going through your own personal challenges. And one thing I've learned in my 40 odd years is that the only constant in life is change. But a lot of the times it's the people that are around you and support you that can really make the difference between you managing and getting through these challenges gracefully or possibly completely falling apart. So if you are someone that needs some extra support, you can always reach out to me, and I have a listening ear over here. It's the least I can do. And for those of you who have reached out to me, I really do appreciate that. This podcast really helps keep me going because honestly, despite the fact that I've been a little distracted and things have been super busy, and of course it's busy for everyone. It's the holiday season. At the time of this recording, I guess the time that it comes out, we're sort of into December. That means we're into the holiday season, and it's a busy time for many people. And this podcast really helps me stay focused in a strange way. I know I just said I'm super distracted, but I know that I have an episode to get out every single Thursday because there's lots of you out there waiting for it. And I appreciate that so much. I don't know if you can have any real idea about how much I do. So thank you so much. If you're new to this show, well, welcome. I hope you enjoy this episode. And if you've been a long time listener, once again, or even a medium time listener, I've been doing this for 4 years now. So maybe you jumped on board somewhere along the way. But regardless, I appreciate you. And I'm wishing you all the best for this holiday season. And I hope you can enjoy many, many edibles, including the ones that I am sharing in this show. And there's a reason I'm sharing this one. I know they don't sound super Christmassy, but I will get into that. Before I do, however, Apple Podcast Society and Culture charts in Luxembourg recently had me charting at number 28. Now, sadly, that is declining. I think I went down numerous spots, maybe possibly upwards of 60 spots. I didn't really pay too close of attention because I was like, what the hell? But still, I charted in Luxembourg, Society and Culture and Apple Podcasts, which for an independent podcaster can be pretty difficult to do, to appear on any charts because you can be so small that they're like, bite me who? Bite me what? If little do they know that Bite Me is everything. Am I right? In any case, so I'm still charting over there, which is kind of cool. Thank you once again to those of you listening in Luxembourg. Now, this, as I mentioned, is the most wonderful time of the year, isn't it? We're getting into the holiday season, and as I record this, I've not yet put up my Christmas tree, but it is on the agenda. And even though I'm selling my house right now, if there's one thing I love during the holidays, it's a brightly lit Christmas tree. And I am going to be putting up a tree regardless of what my real estate agent thinks. I don't really care because I need some Christmas fucking cheer. So I don't know if you're with me on this. Maybe you're someone who doesn't like to put up Christmas decorations at all. And if that's you, I'm here for it. Sometimes a lot of those Christmas decorations can be pretty tacky looking. They can also look super beautiful. But however, I'm someone who likes Christmas lights in particular because it gets so goddamn dark here. Like it's dark by 5 o'clock. And the lights really help to lift my spirits as we march towards winter solstice and some hope. And I have to admit that I love a little Michael Bublé or Diana Krall playing on the airwaves. It just sort of gives me these warm, fuzzy feelings. I really do love those albums. Those are like a couple of my go-to Christmas albums that only come out once the calendar changes to December. I haven't actually listened to either of them yet, but I will be planning on playing those as I put up my Christmas tree this year. And if you're wondering, yes, it's an artificial tree. But those Christmas lights really do brighten my spirits. And I was going to do a whole episode on gift ideas, but honestly, it feels like everyone is doing that this time of year. And having said that, there are a couple of items I'll recommend because they're not too expensive and they're gifts that keep on giving. And in our household, we're doing a Secret Santa because I find that just helps keep the Christmas from feeling too commercial, too consumerist. And, you know, things are more expensive everywhere now. So that affects everyone in the household. So why make it a burden? And instead, you just have to buy it for the one person in the household. So we have the Bite Me Edibles journal. At only $10, it's a steal and is perfect for somebody who's experimenting with edibles, whether they're making their own or buying them, and they want to learn more about their tolerance, the effects, and they can track a whole bunch of other metrics or whatever they want. There's lots of space to write notes as well. And that's great for someone who is either really new to edibles and just trying to figure out where they're at and, start low and go slow, or somebody who has been enjoying edibles for a while because they can sort of keep track of their experiments in the kitchen too. So that is one great idea. The next one isn't necessarily for an edibles lover, but it is for a coffee lover. And I know that many edibles lovers are coffee lovers because so many people drink coffee. So that's a pretty easy assumption to make. But this is the AeroPress. I fucking love this coffee maker. I've had one for several years. And even though I bought a nice coffee maker like a few months ago, I keep going back to the AeroPress. And it's quick, it's easy, it makes perfect coffee in my opinion. It's better than any drip, French press, pour over, Chemex, fancy coffee shop machine coffee, like all that stuff. And if it couldn't get any better, the components are plastic, so you can easily travel with it. Like there's nothing bad about this coffee maker, and it's cost effective. Apparently it now comes in a larger size. There's like an XL size. So if you need to make more, then you can do that. But for any coffee lover, this makes a great gift. And if you want to include a bottle of your homemade oil that they can add to their morning brew, you've got a really thoughtful gift right there. Because I do know there's a lot of folks out there who enjoy a little cannabis oil in their coffee to sort of get them going in the morning. The next one is cannabis cookbooks. I find that they always make a great gift, sort of gives you some inspiration, and there's always beautiful photography in them, maybe some stories. I have several myself, but I have my eye on the new High Times cookbook by Jamie Evans and Heijin Chun. I'm very sorry if I pronounced that name incorrectly. It looks amazing and has infusions like infused chili oil, which I've never done before, but which would open up a whole new world of infused cooking. These recipes look fantastic. And there's also another book called Butter and Flour by Anne Alchin. She's a fellow Canadian who has written a book for the Canna Curious. And this would also make a great gift for somebody who's interested in dabbling in edibles. I have some other favorites that I'll include in the show notes, many from authors that have actually also been on this show, but those do make a great gift and they can be quite cost effective. And of course, if you end up getting gifted any of the edibles they make from those books, and that's just a win-win in my mind. So you can also make gifts. You can also make your gifts. And if you're listening to the show, you're probably not afraid of spending some time in the kitchen. Cannabis topicals make a great gift for those that don't consume cannabis. And it's a safe entry point for the Canna Curious that can measurably improve their lives by easing pain. I mean, how beautiful is that as a gift? Here, enjoy this, watch your arthritis go away, or whatever the case is. There's infused body butters, oils, bath bombs, bath salts. Can't remember some of the other ones that I've covered in this show. Massage oils, like all kinds of things you can do, and you can put them in pretty containers and dress them up. And that makes a really thoughtful gift. I've done that many times. So that's also something that is going to be more cost effective. It's going to require quality ingredients, of course, and your time and energy, but the thoughtfulness of it really does make it a lovely gift. So that is something else you can try. And of course, any of the tasty treats that you can make, like cookies are always popular and they hold up well for gifting. I really do like making wrapped caramels, and candy are also great. And I've done all of these on my show. But of course, if you have a favorite cookie recipe, just swap out the fat for your infused fat and you've got something that you can gift as an edible. As always, of course, make sure you know how potent they are. That's really key if you're going to be gifting them, or make them far lower dose than you would otherwise. Maybe if you're gifting them to somebody who's pretty new to edibles, you make a fresh batch of your fat or your oil for the recipe that has less plant material in it. So it's just not as strong as the ones you might make normally for yourself if you have a higher tolerance. So that is something that is wise to do, but those do make excellent gifts. Now, if you're like me, it's just going to get busier and perhaps more stressful as we march towards Christmas. And I'm also in the middle of selling the house, as I've mentioned, and ending a long-term relationship. And I know I'm not alone in dealing with some of the extra stressors at a busy and already stressful time of the year. So I asked the fine folks in the Bite Me Cannabis Club what edibles were their go-to when they were short on time. And raw chocolate pumpkin pecan macaroons was one of the answers. And I have made them. I actually made them a couple of weeks ago and I've been enjoying them. And I can say that that was a great answer, because this isn't necessarily a Christmas recipe per se. This is a recipe that you can medicate yourself when you are short on time. And you need that stress reducing ingredient in there, the cannabinoids that are going to help you manage at this time of year. They're healthy, they're no bake, and they're edibles that you can make quickly and keep in the fridge, and they come together in like 5 minutes, assuming you have the infused coconut oil on hand already. But seriously, they don't get any simpler than that. I use CBD for an infused CBD oil for these because I like to take them out of the fridge when I need some extra nutrition to tide me over, say before a meal or something like that, or when I'm running around doing errands and things. I've popped them into a little container in my bag, and it is colder out right now, so they did hold up quite well when I had them with me. So for my purposes, I preferred to have the CBD in them as opposed to THC, so I could use them throughout the day. I tend to save my THC consumption more for later in the evenings and focus more on the CBD during the day. But that's just how it works for me. Of course, everybody is different, and you can medicate it however you see fit for you. But if it is something you're wanting to use as sort of a healthy snack for when you're on the go, then this is a great one to do. And you don't need really any fancy ingredients, despite the lengthy name. You do need shredded coconut, and the pecans come from pecan or almond flour. And if you have pecans, you can make those on your own, or the almonds. Actually, you don't have to go out and buy pecan or almond flour, because that can actually get quite expensive. And you could just blend them in your blender, and then you have a little bit of flour. I don't remember that you need a whole lot either. So going out and buying a whole bag of flour just for the half cup or cup, or I forget what it was, I don't have it right in front of me, is unnecessary. Now, I also ended up using coconut flour because that's what I happen to have coconut flour on hand. So I tried that, and because there's shredded coconut in it and melted coconut oil, I thought, well, it would be a nice combination. So that's what I did. These are also great because you can once again tailor these how you like them. Now, it also calls for cocoa powder or cacao powder, which is your raw chocolate, pumpkin puree for that extra nutrition boost, honey, and you could use infused honey too as well in lieu of the coconut oil, the infused coconut oil, or as well, depending on your needs. Melted coconut oil, vanilla, cinnamon, and salt. You basically mix your dry ingredients together, then you mix your wet ingredients together, then you mix them all together, and you drop them onto a cookie sheet, let them firm up for an hour in the fridge, and that is it. Now, when I ended up making mine, in the picture that I saw of them, they were more like a macaroon style, which is more like you take your scoop, you drop them on your sheet, and they look kind of like a nice little haystack or something. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm describing that very well, but I ended up making mine into balls. That's going to take you a little extra time. I'm not really sure why I did that, but it worked for me anyway. So they are something healthy and delicious when you're on the go. Try them. Let me know how you like them. And if you enjoy them and you have a lot of pumpkin puree left over, because if I recall, the pumpkin puree that you need in this is not a large amount. I bought a can, and holy shit, has pumpkin puree gotten expensive lately? I bought a can and I think it called for like 2 tablespoons. So what did I do with that leftover pumpkin puree? I made pumpkin cranberry cookies, and that was a great way to use up the rest of it. Now, I know sometimes you can get pumpkin puree in bigger or smaller cans. I had one of the smaller cans, so that was between these macaroons and the pumpkin cran cookies. That was the whole can, but if you have one of those bigger ones, you might still have some leftovers. So sometimes what I do is I put pumpkin puree. I've bought cans of pumpkin puree to put them into ice cube trays, and I'll use them in smoothies for a little extra nutrition, because they're always saying, eat the rainbow. And we like to put in all kinds of stuff, but pumpkin is really healthy for you. And if it's already in a little ice cube, you can toss it into your blender with your other ingredients, and you've got something, a little extra nutrition kick. So what do you think? Think you might try it out? I would love to hear how yours turn out. The pumpkin, if you try the pumpkin cran cookies as well, of course, those call for oatmeal. And if you've tried the granola, which I've still been munching on too, from last week's episode, then that's another way to use up some of the oats that you might have as well. So as always, my friends, if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with somebody that you care about who might enjoy this one and need a quick, healthy snack on the go. Even if they're really not into edibles, you can make these and not infuse them, and then you've got a really quick, healthy snack on the go, like I just said. You can always talk to me. Hit me up. DMs on Instagram at Bite Me Podcast, or email, or the podcast hotline, or find me over at bitemepodcast.com. You can stay up to date with the newsletter. Highly recommend that, of course. And as we get towards the holidays, consider using the products and services on the Marge Recommends page. If there's lucky people in your life that deserve something, a bigger ticket item, a lot of the things that I recommend over there are for making edibles. And, a T-check is going to set you back a little bit. So maybe you're going to treat yourself, though, because sometimes it's nice to do that around the holidays as well, because you know what? You deserve it. But that also does help to support the show at no extra cost to you. So win-win. And of course, I mentioned the Bite Me Cannabis Club. I'd love to have you over there. We're all talking cannabis and edibles, and I have some plans for that for the new year as well that I'm excited about. So I am your host, Marge. And until next time, my friends, stay high. Are you tired of trying edibles that are inconsistent in strength and flavor? Attempting to figure out your tolerance? Do you want to take control of your edibles experience and find the optimum combination of factors that results in the best outcome? If so, this edibles journal is perfect for you. The Bite Me Edibles Journal provides a convenient and organized way for you to track and record your edibles experience, whether it's homemade edibles or store-bought. It includes 48 fillable pages. It's sized 8.5 by 11 for plenty of writing space, includes information on calculating the potency of homemade edibles, and it was created by an edibles expert. Whether you're a seasoned edibles enthusiast or just starting out on your cannabis journey, the Bite Me Edibles Journal is an essential tool for anyone interested in enjoying their edibles to the fullest. Take control of your high life with this convenient and helpful resource. Add it to your Amazon cart today. Tap the link in the show notes.